Welcome back to this episode of Girl Talk. I am now joined by Betsy McDaniel of WHHI, my co-host this morning, and Carissa Doig of Creations and Libations of the Low Country. Good morning, ladies.
Good morning.
How are y'all doing?
Good.
Good, great. Carissa, welcome.
How are you?
Good, I'm doing good. So tell us about Creations and Libations of the Low Country. We were talking a little bit and I was reading on your story, and I think you have a really awesome story to tell the viewers.
Thank you. Well, Creations and Libations is basically your traditional wine and paint. So you come in with your friends, you bring your own beverage, and you paint with your friends. And so it's relaxing, it's something fun to do, it's something different to do. But I opened this business about 9 months ago for a particular reason. And that is because I actually had to leave my career, which I love so much, in television and radio, because I can no longer drive myself to work. And so I decided to open up my own business right down the street from where we live.
Right.
So I think, she could fill a whole show with her story.
Yeah.
There's so much to it.
Yeah.
So tell us, give us a little snippet, what prompted you to leave, and what makes Creations a little bit unique to the painting world.
Well, I was diagnosed with multiple sclerosis back when I was about 22, 23 years old, and didn't suffer a lot of flare-ups or relapses from it until I hit about age 30. And from then it kind of went, it's kind of snowballed. And about a year and a half ago, it started to snowball a little bit quicker, unexpectedly. And so I had a lot of unexpected things happen to me. The most trying thing, I think, was I actually very slowly kind of went blind for a couple months. It started in my right eye and then kind of trickled into the left eye, and everything got darker and fuzzier until it was just kind of gone.
It's got to be terrifying.
It was scary. It was pretty scary. And from there, the whole right side of my body kind of went. So couldn't move. My brain and my limbs weren't speaking to each other anymore. And it was just, everything became very difficult. And it was at a point where my husband and I, we were at a crossroads. We're 900 miles away from our whole family here. And we didn't know if I was going to recover completely. I didn't know if I was going to be able to go back to work. But I've always kind of been a fighter, so I just kind of kept going. And we had decided in the end, when I started to get better, to use my creativity to my advantage and to open up my own business over in Habersham, where we live. Wow. So it was a struggle, but it's been good, and we're making the most of it. And what we had decided is, I've always kind of been a wacky person, an eccentric person, I guess you would say. And so we didn't want to do just a regular wine and paint. So I wanted to kind of spice it up a little bit. So I was thinking a lot of all the things that I had been through. And, when I was at my darkest during my relapse, which is when I couldn't see and other things were happening, didn't know if I was going to come back from that, and didn't know if there was a light at the end of the tunnel. And so what we had decided to do was to make that translate with what we do at Creations and Libations by painting in the dark. And so you actually,
that's cool.
It's kind of neat. You don't really know what's going on until the very end of your painting.
Interesting.
But it's also fun. It's not scary because we incorporate like a glow paint to it. So it's black lights. So you paint in the black light, everything glows. The music gets really loud.
You can see movement. You can't see, but you can see.
You can see.
Follow the paint. Which
so
is pretty fun.
Exactly. We start painting out in regular light where everything's calm, and then the chaos kind of begins. The chaotic fun begins, and then we add the black light paint, and you paint over it. And then when we turn the lights on, you're pleasantly surprised.
Wow,
that is really cool.
It is cool.
So it's kind of like translates through my whole journey that I went through, which not everybody is going to understand, but to me it means something.
But it helps you to express and give the participants an idea kind of what you've gone through on a different level. I think just such a powerful story, and I think it's so great how you tie it into what you're doing, and it gives it more purpose. Anyone that knows me knows I'm all about inspiration. This sounds like an episode from my show.
I was going to say that, right? She definitely could.
Definitely, you're definitely an inspiration, and I just think it's great what you're doing. And so Carissa Doig of Creations and Libations of the Low Country. Look her up on Facebook. Check her out. Have a seat. Sit tight. We'll be right back on this episode of Girl Talk.